So this is a bit of a different video. I'm not going to be recapping all of the episodes. I'm going to give some opinions. Sure. If you're watching this after Volume 2 has come out, I guess you can see if I was right. If anyone I wanted died, or if someone I really didn't want to die died. So let me know in the comments if you're impressed that I got them all right, or if you're unimpressed that I got them all wrong. Hello and welcome back to the Miscellaneous channel where we do miscellaneous things. I'm Zeleny. I typically cover TV, pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things on this channel. Subscribe if that's your vibe. So yes, my makeup is kind of wild. I decided to go a little experimental. I've been following Yuling from The Circle on Instagram and trying to copy her makeup looks, doing a mediocre job at copying her makeup looks. This video is truly just for right now, right for this moment in time. It is meant to be between Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Stranger Things Season 4. So I originally wasn't going to talk about Stranger Things 4 because I just didn't feel like I had that much to say. I did watch it right when it came out on Memorial Day weekend, and then I rewatched it, but I skipped all the Russia parts because I thought they were stupid and unnecessary. So sorry to fans of the Russia parts. It has lost a bit of its magic for me, even though I did enjoy Volume 1 a lot, and I think it was well done. But there's so many characters, and that's where I decided that I was gonna make a video fully just ready to fight y'all about which characters need to be killed off in Volume 2. So I know this sounds harsh, but Millie Bobby Brown said it herself that the Duffer Brothers are wussies or something that don't want to kill off any characters.
The Duffer Brothers are two sensitive Sallys that don't want to kill everyone off. We need to be Game of Thrones. We need to have the mindset of Game of Thrones.
They get attached, they love the actor, and they can't let go. I would be fine if they can't let go of any characters if they weren't adding like 5 characters every season and deciding to keep 4 out of 5 of them. This video will contain spoilers. Think of this like a tier ranking list, but without that ugly website template because I didn't feel like making that ugly website template work. I have 6 categories of which character should die in Stranger Things. So let's begin. And starting at the bottom, this is the tier of should have died a long time ago. These are characters that the Duffer Brothers tried to fool us into thinking were dead, but are not in fact dead. But that means they probably are not going to die in Volume 2, unfortunately for me. We already went through the grief. We went through the drama of their death. Like, make it mean something. I have 2 characters in this category. One is, of course, Jim Hopper, who should have died at the end of Season 3. He would have had a great, impactful death. And I could have rewatched Season 4 without skipping a bunch of parts. Keeping Hopper, I feel like, added a lot more problems than it solved for the storytelling. Like, I don't feel like in Season 4, Russia is as important as it was in Season 3, but they have to keep the Russia thing because that's where Hopper is now. Then next on this list is Dr. Brenner, who, again, I thought died in like Season 1 or 2. I don't know. I thought he was fully dead. And everyone would always say like, oh no, he's probably still alive. And I was always like, no, he's dead. I remember. He just feels so random. Like, he's been dead all this time, and I'm like, now he's back, and I'm not used to him being back. But anyway, I think because he had a fake death, they're not going to kill him off in Volume 2. So next category is these characters deserve to die due to karma reasons. So these are characters that I hope die and might die. If they die, then woohoo, it's a win for our heroes. But they probably won't die because our heroes still need bullies at school. Firstly, we have the Christian jock guy. I forgot his name. He is basically a cult leader in the making, and he is leading the angry mob of the town to hunt down Eddie Munson this season so far. Then he sees his friend die, and he still thinks Eddie Munson did it, even though he levitated and his eyeballs popped out. I mean, I think that's what happened. I closed my eyes during those parts. This guy, the Christian jock guy, who shall remain nameless, he deserves to die for karma reasons. He is leading a witch hunt. Also, Angela is in this category, of course. She is our California bully. She bullied Eleven, who then sought revenge by hitting her in the face with a roller skate. As much as I don't condone violence, I do think that moment was very satisfying. It's a work of fiction. I don't endorse it in real life, but you know, 11 definitely had way worse bullying before. We saw that later in the lab VR parts of it. Those parts I was also tempted to skip over, not gonna lie. So yeah, Angela was 11's bully in California. She was really shady. I don't think she was meaner than the lab rat kids at the Hawkins lab. And 11 was literally like a tiny child at that point. Like, who would bully a 5-year-old? I mean, siblings, older siblings would. I do think the Christian jock guy could die because he is in the thick of it. He might sacrifice himself and have like a little redeeming moment at the end. But Angela, I don't see dying, even though she deserves it for karma reasons, because she's in California. She's really away from the action, and she already got some karma with the roller skate moment. I mean, 11 took karma into her own hands, but you know what I mean. Also deserving for karma reasons, I would say, is Vecna, the main villain. He has terrorized this town and people with trauma, which is extra fucked up. And I assume they're gonna take care of him in some way. Out of this list, he's most likely to die, unless they're keeping him around for a big season 5 thing with him. But he's gonna have to die at some point. Next category is the yes, they should die, and I wouldn't really mind. This one's gonna be an unpopular opinion, but first on my list here is Murray. I know people like Murray. He's comedic relief. I agree, he's funny. I just think, like, if he died, especially given like a good reason, he saved somebody, sacrificed himself, I'd be happy with that. I'd be satisfied, and I wouldn't feel a big empty hole in my heart if Murray went. Another one I wouldn't mind, which might be another unpopular opinion, is Eddie. Eddie Munson is one of the new characters. He's like a rocker guy, and he's the leader of the Dungeons and Dragons Hellfire Club. Middle-aged. I really can't tell if this is an unpopular opinion because I get the vibe that Netflix really thought Eddie was going to be a huge fan favorite. It felt like they were trying to make a new Steve, but they didn't put in enough like charming moments with Eddie in the show. Based on the social media reaction I've seen to Eddie, it's mostly like the Stranger Things accounts, like the verified Netflix company accounts that are retweeting like those tweets that are like, if you hurt Eddie, I will kill you, like fans saying that to the writers. It all feels a little planted to me. Like, it feels like when Netflix made Bird Box the big viral meme overnight. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like Eddie was like planned by Netflix and there's no actual real people that are obsessed with Eddie. Y'all let me know if anyone's watching this that loves Eddie. Let me know in the comments and why. No judgment here. I'm mostly confused because I didn't react super strongly to him. I didn't think he had enough lovable moments the way a Steve has had. We know he's gonna have some guitar moment solo on the roof. That was in the trailer. So next is Enzo, whose actual name I think is Dimitri, I'm not sure, and he is Hopper's friend in the prison. He is the prison guard guy. I enjoy him, sure, but he's new. I'm not so attached to him, and he's helped out Hopper so much. Like, I thought he was gonna die several times in Volume 1, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did in Volume 2 because he's done crimes against the country, the Russia. It'd be a little sad because he did help a lot, but I feel like they're kind of setting him up to move on. Finally on this list of I wouldn't mind if they died is Susie. I don't know how to explain this one. Sorry to her. It's not that I hate her or anything. It's just like, if she died, I wouldn't mind. I don't think it would happen in Volume 2. Again, she is not close to the action. Next category is yes, they should die, but it would hurt a lot. So these are characters that I really don't want them to die, but they would be good choices for emotional impact. The way Hopper was at the end of season 3, or the way like Barb or Bob were when they actually died, they actually died. These hurt me to say. If I was a writer and I was cutthroat with my audience, I would say these are good options to kill off. First of all, I have Nancy. Nancy has just been so important. I don't think they would kill Nancy, but if they did, it would make such a big impact. And it would feel really sad. She's like our smart one. She's always piecing together, and she's the journalist and asking questions. So I think she's probably too important for season 5, but I wanted to put her in this category because I feel like it would have just a big impact. All of the kids have good relationships with her. 2 of the main team boys are kind of into her. Now Robin in this season made a friendship with her, which is sweet. She's attached to almost every character and has been a key part of this. Volume 1 kind of ended in a cliffhanger of like maybe she will die because she got possessed or whatever, but hopefully the gang knows her favorite song. Next is the one that no one wants me to say, and that is Steve. I think if they killed off Steve, the fandom would riot. I don't know. I think that's kind of what these writers want, isn't it? Don't they want us to feel? I don't think they would kill Steve again. They're too attached to him, and I think he looks just like the Duffer Brothers. Like, the guy that plays Steve and the Duffer Brothers look like triplets, so it's kind of funny. I don't think they would kill off their twin, but Steve is the fan favorite, and the fan favorite is worthy of this category. Yes, maybe he should die, but it would hurt immensely. And finally in this category I have Will. Will started off the series, we thought he was dead, and he's been through a lot. I don't think Will's gonna get killed off volume 2. I think he might in volume 5. I just feel like since he was so central to the mystery part of it, it would make a huge impact if he went. Unfortunately now in seasons 3 and 4, Will has been such a side background character. He's almost too unimportant to die. But I just think it would make a huge impact. Him being this weird conduit, our original conduit between the real world and the upside down. And it'll be interesting to see what happens when he finally is back in the thick of the action in volume 2. This is a death though I see more for season 5, because it does feel weird to like save Will in season 1 and 2 and then him die eventually. I mean, it has to be a really good reason for him to die. A lot of fans I've seen speculate like if Will was in Hawkins, Vecna would jump right into his brain because he's been through so much trauma, which is so true, and I wonder if that'll manifest itself in volume 2. This next category is characters that I think are too unimportant to die. What I mean by this is that they haven't had a significant enough plotline in season 4 volume 1 so far that their death wouldn't be impactful, therefore I don't think they will kill them. First of all, Robin. Robin is pure like comic relief for the group scenes and also to develop like Steve and Nancy as characters a lot. Her role is fully supportive and I don't think they would kill her off. I just think she's too like funny and in the background. Like if we had gone into her backstory a lot this season, I would think they're setting up something big at the end. But because she's just been doing her Robin thing and being comedic, I don't think she is on the path to get killed off. Next on my list is Jonathan, who seasons 3 and 4 has been so in the background, similar to Will. Honestly, all of the buyers are just like background characters of Stranger Things style. Jonathan this season has just been a stoner. We got his new friend Argyle. Argyle is also on this list where he also is a comedic relief. Like I can't see him dying. Like we don't know enough about him. The comedic relief doesn't really die. It's like Timon and Pumbaa. You know they're not gonna get eaten by lions. Or hyenas, sorry, whatever, whoever's the villain of that. Jonathan, I just feel like, is so nothing this season. Like, he's just like being a stoner and crying about Nancy and commitment issues. Jonathan just hasn't had a significant plot line since season 2, enough to kill him off. So I think he's gonna live. Next on my list, I have Mike. Mike this season hasn't had too significant of a journey or plot line. He had issues with Eleven, and then he's also struggling with his friendship with Will and trying to rediscover what it is now. So a lot of Mike's journey this season has just been these very specific interpersonal relationships, and I just feel like it's not enough of a plot line or journey for him to get killed off at the end. Maybe there will be a moment where Mike needs to be saved. Finally on this list is Lucas. I do think Lucas has had a journey this season, and I think it's good. I just don't see them killing him off. He's one of the core 4, so any of the core 4, I generally don't see them killing off aside from Will, because Will had the special extra things from seasons 1 and 2. But I don't see Lucas getting killed off. I feel like a lot of his journey was about saving Max and helping Max overcome the Vecna attack. I think that was his big climax for his journey. Also, he had this stuff about being in with the basketball team and knowing about that. I think Lucas is one of those that is safe. We made it to the final category, and that is, these characters are too important to kill off. There are some characters in other categories that I've said are too important to kill off, but these are the ones that I'm for sure they are too important. They would never get killed off, at least this season. First of all, we have Dustin. I think Dustin is a super important character because he is our narrator, and he is the conduit that the Duffer Brothers give us the lore of the monsters we're seeing. Without Dustin, we lose a narrator. We have no one explaining to us what the shit in the Upside Down is. So I just think Dustin, narratively, he's too important to kill off. He's also a fan favorite, but it's not about fan favorite. Sure, Dustin could get killed off and it would be a big impact, but I just think we lose too much with him always providing the lore and the background and the explaining for every little thing that happens. That's basically all he's been doing in season 4. Honestly, it's really repetitive. They could cut out some of that. Next on my list is 11. I think 11 is too important to kill off volume 2. She is pretty much the only weapon against all the Upside Down. I think Millie Bobby Brown wants out, but nobody cares, I guess.
I know, kill me off.
However, I do think 11 would make the most sense to kill off at the end of the series. At the very, very end, once they don't need her anymore, she could have this really impactful death that maybe would make sense for her. Obviously, she deserves to have a happily ever after, and they might do that because the Duffer Brothers don't like to kill off important characters, but it could be an impactful thing. Maybe someday the Duffer Brothers can bring her back and pretend she didn't die the way they did with Hopper and Brenner. Next in the too important category is Joyce. I think Joyce is too important. She's like the main adult anchoring the adult crew. She's the one like spurring all the action for the adults. She is going to Russia or Alaska single-handedly saving Hopper from Russian prisons, single-handedly saving Will from the Upside Down. Like, she is just our doer, and I just don't see them killing off Joyce Byers in volume 2. She's also not had like a ton of development this season. It's all been about rescuing Hopper, so it would be kind of random if she just died in volume 2. I think it'd be random if Murray died too, but I just wouldn't mind as much, so I put him in the wouldn't mind category. Also in the too important category, I say, is Erica. I think the show really values Erica, and she always comes in clutch in important moments. Last season it was the vents, this time it was stepping in for Dungeons and Dragons. She's joined the group at this point at the end of volume 1. I don't think she's had a ton of backstory development, so maybe she would be in the no plot lines group too, but I just feel strongly that they wouldn't kill her off. And then finally in this category of too important to kill off is Max. So I really thought Max might have died in that one episode, the Vecna attack episode, the running up that hill episode, which is infamous now online. However, because she didn't die in episode 4, I don't think she would die in volume 2. She already had a near-death, high-tension story moment, so it just feels like after this, she survived such a hard thing. It's already like the most iconic scene of volume 1. You don't just give your character a near-death dramatic experience and then kill them off an episode later. I think Max is now safe from volume 2 because she had such an intense character development this season, a lot of focus on her, and already survived near-death experiences. Her surviving needs to matter and mean something. And she might have had the deepest character development of the whole season. So can you believe it? Those are all our characters of Stranger Things. I hope I didn't ruffle any feathers too much. But if you totally disagree or agree with anything, let me know in the comments below. Also, something I want to know is, what song would save you from Vecna? I really want to hear this from people in general. There are so many songs that could save me. I mean, any Gaga song probably. I think Bad Romance is absolutely a song that would save me. Just Dance also. Vecna would be partying down there with me because any song I would choose, or any song that could save me, would be a club banger. Maybe Take On Me could save me if we're trying to think 80s. I really love Running Up That Hill though. I'm still not sick of it even though it's everywhere on social media. I'd also love to know if you were a fan of that song before, or if Stranger Things exposed it to you, because I'm very curious about that. It's definitely past my generation. Like, I did not know much about Kate Bush, but I had heard this song. I just knew this song as like one of the big 80s songs, and I actually truly got exposed to it on Pose, which was like in 2018, 2019. So I'm not like far behind the kids discovering it today. But it's a great song and I'm obsessed, and I loved it in Pose. I remember it made such a big impact on me. That's all I have for this video. Just wanted to have a little fun one today. Wanted to fight with y'all. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed. I put out new videos twice a week about TV, pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things. And you can follow me at Miscellaneous on Instagram or Twitter to find out about new videos, or just turn on the bell notification here on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.